our dear viewers, and welcome to a new edition of our daily debate. In today's edition, we are going to talk about Cairo, who is once again taking center stage in the African diplomatic landscape as it hosts the 5th African Union Week for post-conflict reconstruction and development. That would be our topic for discussion for tonight. But at the beginning, I would like to say thank you so much for joining us, for our dear guest, Dr. Mongy Badr, former Minister Plenipotentiary and the board member of Egypt UN Association. Hello, Doctor, and thank you so much for being our guest.
It's my pleasure and honor to be with you again.
It's our pleasure, Dr. Badr. And we'll start with the top stories, where President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi said he was informed of violations that took place in some electoral constituencies where the individual parliamentary seats are contested for. In a statement on his social media account, the President said such events are being investigated by the National Election Authority, which he pointed out as an independent body according to the law. President al-Sisi directed the NEA to be very accurate with its investigations and verifications of the events and appeals, and to take decisions that satisfy God and honestly reflect the true will of the voters. The head of state instructed to prioritize the transparency of measures through reassuring that delegate of each candidate obtains a copy of the list of voters from the sub-voting committees. He reiterated that in such case the election can be reheld later in these constituencies. The President also asserted that the NEA will reveal the outcomes of the investigations and measures taken in this regard to achieve effective monitoring of the election process in a way that does not breach the legal frame nor be repeated in the coming phases. And for their part, the National Election Authority held a press conference at 4 p.m. Cairo local time on Monday over the details related to the first phase of the parliamentary elections upon recommendations of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. The NEA stated that candidates in the second phase of the election are proceeding with their election campaigns. It added that the vote is to be held next Friday and Saturday for Egyptians abroad across Egyptian diplomatic missions in over 113 countries. It runs on the 24th and 25th of November domestically. The results of the second phase of the election is expected to be announced on the 2nd of December. The press conference comes a day ahead of the announcement of the results of the first phase of the House of Representatives election. The first phase was conducted in 14 governorates earlier on November. Back to you, Dr. Badr, and before starting our main topic for the debate, we would like to, of course, comment about the statement that was published by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi on his social media account regarding the violation that took place in the elections and how the National Election Authority were reviewing any violations that did take place.
Let me say first that for New Republic, it should be very transparent election. For New Republic and the will and the wish of Egyptian people to put Egypt in the right place as an emerging country, so election should be very fair and also a high rate of transparency. Number 3, now we are talking about future, about opening of Grand National Museum, and also about the challenge of our tonnage, Egyptian tonnage, to challenge Indian, Chinese, European tonnage in IT and AI. So everything should match together.
Indeed.
We already go to very high level of competition, and also election should be on the same level. It should be very fair, very transparent, and also it should bring member of parliament to understand what we are planning for the future.
Indeed.
To understand what the challenge we are facing regionally and globally. From this point, His Excellency Mr. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, he already informed about what's the reaction of the first stage It was unfortunately not very well.
Yes.
And it was exaggeration in many items. So His Excellency affirmed to the National Election Authority that should not hesitate to make correct decision. If it become impossible to determine voter well, whether by fully cancelling the result of this stage of the election or by partially cancelling the result in a specific district. He adding, His Excellency Mr. President, that any repeated election should be held at a later stage as required by law. Also, furthermore, His Excellency Mr. President requested from National Election Authority publicly announce the measure it's taken. So we are waiting. New measure should be taken by NEA.
Yes.
And also I would like to conclude this point that His Excellency Mr. President concluded by affirming his confidence in NEA. Integrity and its responsibility to ensure fair, transparent and credible electoral process that fully protects the choice of Egyptian people. So what His Excellency mentioned today morning, in fact, he start again to assure that the government need to have very fair election. Number two, it should be very fair and high rate of transparency because of the future of Egypt. We are emerging economy. We are very promising country. Now most of European countries now start to transfer its industry to Egypt, even from Far East, including China. They start to transfer their industry to Egypt. And also Brussels summit few days back, they mentioned that we respect Egypt and the Egyptian policy. And in the meantime, all of them are very promising for developing bilateral relation between Egypt and the EU, in the same time with China, Russia and India and even Brazil, United States of America. From this point that His Excellency Mr. President started to make what we can say that he make investigation about what happened, and he informed or started to recognize that what happened it doesn't approved by Egyptian people, and also the people are not satisfied about what happened. Money does not bring good member for parliament. What we need cultured member. We need a member who can understand the challenge regionally and globally what we are facing. So the role of parliament not to have a private interest for one man or two people or for the family. It should be for to follow legislation, and in the meantime he should follow the performance of the government. And there are many main purpose for the member of parliament, unfortunately does not exist in the people whom get in the first stage of election. So we appreciate very well what His Excellency Mr. President he published today, and we appreciate also the reaction of NEA. The reaction was very quickly, very rapidly, and in the meantime she understands the message from Mr. President. In the meantime, the Egyptian people understand very well the message of President Sisi.
Yes.
And they start to mention that there is the big boss, the president. He can make the right decision, even by canceling all the stage or canceling some district of the election.
Yes,
so
indeed.
we hope the second stage, which start the 2nd of December, they can put
the second stage will start actually, sir, next Friday for the Egyptian expatriates, next Friday and Saturday. Yeah.
So from this point, all of us out Egypt or in Egypt should realize that message, that we should be very fair, and also we should learn that Egypt, it's a country of civilization, and it's not good to see or the others or the foreigner comment in what happened with very negative way.
Any violations would not be accepted as per the president and by the press conference by the National Election Authority.
And also by the people, Egyptian people.
Indeed, and
it's not accepted at all.
Of course.
So we would like to move forward.
Yes.
We would like to challenge. We would like to develop our country, and in the meantime, our members should be on the same level.
Yes, indeed. And moving on to the topic of our debate for tonight, where Cairo once again takes the center stage on the African diplomatic landscape as it hosts the 5th African Union Week for the post-conflict reconstruction and development. More details.